Hi everybody, today we have 3 sets of products. For one for $10 and for the other $100, we will cook french fries from each of them. In the set for $1, we have salt, a little bit of butter, and potatoes are waiting for us. First of all, we will peel it. Now we cut the potato into slices. And chop it into straws. I decided to make a form factor of these potatoes, about like a McDonald's. We shift the fries into some cold water. And give some time for the excess starch to come out of the potatoes. We spread out some paper towels. We take out the potatoes and put them right on the paper towels. We soak the potatoes from excess moisture, otherwise they will shoot oil all over the kitchen. Pour the oil into a small frying pan. And put it on to heat up. First, we heat up to 140 degrees and do the so-called primary roasting. Its main task is simply to warm up the potatoes inside and make them softer. Literally 3 minutes, we take them out of the deep fryer. Each fry must pass this stage. Done. But now we heat the oil even more, up to 170 degrees. Now we will give the potatoes a crispy crust. Done. Now we transfer them to the paper towels so that the oil is absorbed and it remains crispy for a long time. Our fries for $1 can only be thoroughly salted, mixed up, and served. That's it, they're ready, and they look just fine. Let's taste it. This is like exactly the same as the ones from McDonald's. I think everybody's gonna like this. So now we have products for $10. You can immediately see that everything is more interesting here. We peel the potatoes. Cut them into slices, but already thicker than the last time. And then we make the strips thicker. We put these into a saucepan. This cooking method will differ from the past in that we will achieve the softness of potatoes by cooking them. Therefore, we fill it up with water and put them on to heat up. From the moment of boiling, cook for 5 minutes and drain the water through a colander. We put these into a bowl. Pour in some cornstarch, and roll them up. We will make a deep fryer, and this time we have much more oil. Therefore, it'll be possible to fry everything at once. Preheat the fryer to 170 degrees, and throw in the potatoes. Fry for 3 minutes, and then you can pull them out. Let's salt them. and add some paprika with a super smoky flavor. Now mix and roll them up. In my opinion, it already looks better than the first fries. But we can also make some cheese sauce from this set. Put some butter into a frying pan and melt it onto the stove. As a thickener, add some flour and mix. Pour in the milk, salt, and open up some cheddar cheese. We put this into the sauce as well, and mix it all up until smooth. We pour the ready-made sauce into a sauce bowl. That's it, the fries for $10 are completely ready. Now let's try them. You guys, this is twice as delicious as the first fries. And now we will cook potatoes from the most expensive set of products for as much as $100. First of all, we opened up the jar and take out some dried white truffle. Using a knife, we turn this into a crumb. We open up some Parmesan cheese and grate it into a fine powder. Pour some heavy cream into a saucepan. Add the truffle and Parmesan. Now you just need to heat this all up. Stirring constantly, thicken it. There you go. We turn to the potatoes themselves. Here the tubers are already selected. We clean them. Then cut them into medium-sized cubes. We put all the fries into a frying pan. And open the champagne. Pour it into the frying pan. Also, I'll pour in some vinegar. And on the highest heat setting on the stove, under a closed lid, simmer the potatoes for 5 minutes. We drain the already unnecessary liquid. Put the potatoes into a bowl, starch them, and mix and roll them up. We will fry them in duck fat. Open up the jars and pour into a frying pan. To make the volume larger, add a little bit of oil and mix. We warm up the fryer and finally fry our VIP French fries. Like all the ones before, they need to be salted. It's served in a basket. Sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on top. Get some truffle crumbs. And finally, for some flair, edible gold. Now we just need to serve our truffle cream sauce. And our French fries for as much as $100 are ready. Let's try them. Hello everyone, in the last video we cooked a very huge sturgeon and we were left with a very hefty head. As I promised, today we will cook fish soup from it. However, it will just be an unusual soup. At the auction, I bought a very old recipe for the royal soup of the 18th century. The recipe is called Triple Royal Fish Soup with Saffron. The recipe explains that it is triple because it was prepared from 3 different types of fish. The first broth is boiled from the head and tail of the sturgeon. Therefore, we start with the head. The first step is to remove the gills. If this is not done, the broth will be bitter. Done. We transfer the head to the sink and thoroughly wash it from the mucus so that it is perfectly clean. We are also left with the sturgeon carcass. We use this for the fish soup. We chop it into identical pieces. And we remove the film from the edges. To cook the fish soup, as it should be done, in a cauldron, we send the pieces of the island of sturgeon to the cauldron as well as the head itself, and fill it all up with water. And then we chop wood. We need a lot of these wood chips. We send some dry alcohol to the stove and set it on fire. Now we throw in some firewood. The fish soup should be cooked very slowly, avoiding rapid boiling. Then the broth will be as saturated as possible. Periodically remove the foam from the surface. Three onions in the husk are sent to cook. The recipe says that this will give the broth a golden color. In the meantime, we prepare everything for the second broth. We need small fish, namely ruffs or perches. We bought these perch. Now we gut them. This one was also caught with caviar. We also cut out the gills. And rinse the fish thoroughly. And send the already cleaned prepared perch to gauze. We clean everything else in the same way. We put in a lot of greens on top, namely dill and parsley. And the third fish in our soup will be walleye. For me, this is the most delicious fish of all and can be caught in our reservoirs. Its most important plus is that there are a few bones in it. We rip open the belly. and remove the insides. I'm going to cut out the gills. Done. We cut off the pike perch's head. And throw that into the cheesecloth. We continue the incision along the belly. And cut off half of the fish, cutting through the ribs. We separate the second half of the meat. We fold the skeleton several times and send that in with the head. We cut off all the fins. And ribs from the fillet. After which we cut off the fillet from the skin. With the second fillet, we do the same thing. So now we're left with 2 fillets without bones. This will be the meat component of our soup. Now we cut the fillet into convenient pieces. Done. And all the trimmings will also go into the broth. From the spices, we add a mixture of peppers, a lot of bay leaves, and salt. We collect everything into the cheesecloth and tie it up. The soup has been cooking for 2 hours. We take out the head of the sturgeon. And all the other parts of it too. We lower in our gauze bag. This will have to cook about a couple of hours to give all the taste to the broth. In the meantime, we'll prepare our vegetables, carrots and potatoes. Both of these root vegetables are peeled. Cut the carrots lengthwise and into half circles. cut the potatoes into slices. Our second broth is already cooked. We take out the gauze bag. All the flavors inside the bag have gone into the broth. We also take out the bulbs of onions. Ideally, it is impossible to collect all the foam from the surface of the broth, so we take clean buckets and a sieve. We put also some gauze into that and filter the broth. Done. We put the clean cauldron back on and fill it with the clean broth. We throw in the sliced potatoes and carrots. We cover with the lid so that it boils again. In the meantime, let's go back to the boiled sturgeon head. Despite the fact that it all looks kind of so-so, there's still a lot of meat there. Therefore, we separate it from the bones and put it into the bowl. It turns out that we filled more than half of the bowl with clean meat. Pay attention to the name of the fish soup that we are preparing: triple royal fish soup with saffron. Therefore, we take a mortar, pour some salt into it, and the most expensive spice in the world is saffron. We send that into the mortar and grind it in with the salt that it reveals its flavor to the maximum and gives some color. We pour this into the soup. And mix thoroughly. The fish soup is almost ready, so we send the pieces of pike perch into it, as well as sturgeon meat. The recipe explains that this is kind of a ritual, a way to appease the soup by sharing the most holy with the fish. All for the smell of smoke. We dip a burning log into the soup. At this point, it is completely ready, and you can fill the plate. We're left with a very beautiful fish soup with a lot of meat. Now let's try it.